Matter and Energy in Ecosystems Unit, Lesson 1.2, Investigating a Biodome. Activity 2, Examining Biodome Files. We just watched a video about Biosphere 2, a closed ecosystem that is an actual scientific research station built by humans. In this unit, we will be learning about how matter and energy affect the way ecosystems work. Let's read more about the context for this unit. For this unit, you will work for the Biodome Investigation Team under the direction of the head ecologist, Dr. Brian Corey, as he tries to discover some possible reasons why the biodome experiment failed. This is a fictional scenario, but it is based on Biosphere 2. Introducing the biodome. 5 years ago, a local group called the Econauts began an ambitious project to determine if humans could survive on another planet. They constructed a biodome, an ecosystem inside a glass dome larger than a football field. The ecosystem was filled with plants, animals, and a volunteer group of 8 humans. The problem: for the first few years, the plants and animals inside the biodome seemed healthy and normal. In the last few years, however, the Econauts began to notice some problems. Animals were getting sick and failing to reproduce. Plants weren't growing as big or producing as much fruit as they once did. The Econauts realized that something had gone wrong. Although the organisms were safely removed from the biodome, the cause of these problems is still a mystery. The Econauts want to build another biodome, but first they need to understand what went wrong with this one. Your mission is to help them solve this mystery. Chapter 1 question: why didn't the plants and animals in the biodome have enough energy storage molecules? Remember, energy storage molecules are molecules that organisms need to survive. The plants and animals in the biodome must not have had enough energy storage molecules. Unit question: how do all the organisms in an ecosystem get the resources they need to release energy? You will need to answer both of these questions in order to solve the mystery of the failed biodome. What are some reasons that organisms might need energy storage molecules? In order to release energy, organisms need energy storage molecules. To answer our unit question about how organisms get what they need to release energy, we'll investigate our Chapter 1 question about why the biodome organisms didn't have enough energy storage molecules. You may remember from Populations and Resources, we have been introduced to the idea of energy storage molecules. This term refers to the molecules that store energy: glucose, glycogen, fats, and starches. These molecules can be broken into glucose or other molecules that react with oxygen to release energy during the process of cellular respiration. Vocabulary: energy storage molecule, a molecule that organisms can use to release the energy they need to survive. Throughout the unit, you can look up vocabulary words in the glossary to help you understand what they mean. You will begin to investigate the Chapter 1 question by examining some documents from the biodome. There are 5 files altogether, and you'll choose at least one to read. You may want to annotate as you read in order to remember specific details. First, let's review how to use the features of the Amplify library. Students, play the video. You will use the biodome files to make some initial claims about the Chapter 1 question. After reading, you'll share ideas with a partner. As you read, look for information that might help you figure out why there weren't enough energy storage molecules for plants and animals in the biodome. Remember, these are just your initial claims, so don't worry about being right or wrong. Students, read the biodome files. Let's share some initial claims about the Chapter 1 question. You're making claims about different things that could cause an ecosystem to change. What ideas do you have about what an ecosystem is? Vocabulary: ecosystem, all the living and non-living things interacting in a particular area. Vocabulary: system, a set of interacting parts forming a complex whole. What are some different examples of ecosystems and some of the parts that make them up? There are many different types of ecosystems, including forest ecosystems, desert ecosystems, and even smaller ecosystems like the one inside a fish tank. Each of these ecosystems includes both living things, like plants or fish, as well as non-living things, like sand or water. An ecosystem is one type of system. All scientific systems have certain characteristics in common, such as different parts that interact. What are some examples of other systems with interacting parts? Vocabulary. Biotic matter. Matter that makes up the living and dead organisms in an ecosystem. Vocabulary. Abiotic matter. Matter that makes up the non-living parts of an ecosystem, such as air, water, and rocks. Scientists use a special term for the living things in an ecosystem, biotic matter. Bio means living, so biotic matter refers to all kinds of living things. But when scientists use the term biotic matter, they are also referring to things that were living at one time, like dead leaves or dead animals. Scientists consider dead things to be different from things in an ecosystem that were never alive, like air or water. These non-living things have a different scientific name, abiotic matter. The prefix a means not or opposite. Did your initial claim about why the organisms in the biodome didn't have enough energy storage molecules point to biotic matter or abiotic matter? An example of a biotic claim might be that the econauts put the wrong animals in the biodome, because animals are living things, and that makes them biotic matter. An example of abiotic matter claim might be that the water system in the biodome did not work properly. Since water isn't living or dead, that makes it part of abiotic matter. Some claims may be both biotic and abiotic. End of activity.